His senior commanders thought enough of Howard's valor this day to write him up for the Medal of Honor, and after subsequent missions, Howard's superiors would submit his name for the Medal of Honor a second and third time. Time and time again, Bob Howard survived missions that should have claimed his life. Others wondered if he had a special charm, or maybe even a deal with the devil. In the most dire of situations, he often ignored his own wounds and charged the enemy. It was the only way he knew how to fight. During one recon mission, Howard was rendered unconscious by the explosion of a rifle grenade that tossed his body like a rag doll. He awoke to find his right ankle too injured for him to walk. His legs and groin had been ripped by shrapnel. Blood poured into his eyes from head lacerations in his CAR-15 automatic rifle, Colt Automatic Rifle 15 Commandos, designed in 1966 as a lighter weight and controllable carbine version of the M16A1, had been blasted apart. As Howard struggled to pull himself up, he was suddenly aware of a horrifying sight and a stomach-turning smell. Just yards away, a North Vietnamese soldier had emerged from the brush with a flamethrower. The NVA killer methodically moved among the writhing bodies of Howard's injured comrades, incinerating them with liquid fire. Howard was practically defenseless as the enemy soldier approached him and swung the flamethrower in his direction. On another mission, already wounded by shrapnel, Howard and his company commander ran across an open field to help rescue survivors of an American Huey helicopter that had been shot down near them. Howard calmly shot down charging NVA soldiers as he worked to pull wounded aviators from the blazing wreckage. His SOG comrades were impressed as stories of Bob Howard began to circulate on base in the wake of successful operations. They learned how the sergeant had been shot through the shoulder during a firefight, but refused to be extracted by a medevac chopper. Howard remained on the ground with his team for 2 more days to complete the mission. During a different operation, his comrades watched in awe as Howard raced forward to tackle and subdue a North Vietnamese soldier. Covered by his team, Howard raced back with the NVA man slung over his shoulder and deposited him before the team's interpreter for interrogation. Howard's military medical records would later show that, over the course of his service, he suffered multiple gunshot wounds to his face, head, both legs, and right foot. He endured spinal injuries, a nasal fracture, and shrapnel and blast wounds to his neck, face, buttocks, hands, and legs. By his own count, Bob Howard was wounded in action 14 different times during his 4 tours of duty in Vietnam. The U.S. Army officially processed only 8 Purple Hearts for his wounds, as he never bothered to submit paperwork for some of them. Valor medals meant far less to Howard than the feeling of completing a mission successfully. Howard is one of a little over 3,500 U.S. service veterans as of this date to have received the nation's highest honor, the Medal of Honor. He holds the distinction of being the only soldier nominated for the Medal of Honor 3 times over a 13-month period. He is the most decorated Green Beret, with more than 50 awards and ribbons for valor and distinctive service in combat. Other servicemen have collected more total medals for valor, leaving historians to debate who is truly the most decorated American soldier based on rank of commendations. But Robert Lewis Howard's accomplishments rank him in the same class as American military heroes such as World War II's Audie Murphy and World War I's Alvin York. Recon commanders who ran MACV SOG missions with Howard in Vietnam would later declare him to be the bravest man they had ever met. They said he was a man any leader would want to have on his mission, because Howard simply acted without an ounce of fear under fire. A man of faith, Bob Howard more than once offered his own perspective on his survival. I ran with the devil, but God always had my back. Chapter 1. Run towards your problems. The preteen boy was panting heavily as he reached the porch of his family's modest, whitewashed wood frame house. Sitting atop a hill inside the little town of Opelika, Alabama, the Howard home was accessed by a single road that led back into town to the school campus. Bob Howard was relieved.